Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and Civilization Beyond Earth, Rising Tide, playing as the North Sea Alliance, a brand new civilization in the game, with a glorious moving city which we appear to have accidentally blocked off. Well done, workers. Well done. I didn't even think about that. Cancel that mission. We don't want to build a farm there. We're going to be moving the city there eventually. Soon. Relatively soon. Actually, we should probably consider buying one of these tiles so our workers actually have something to do. Here comes the next player. I'm not sure which number of players this is. This is the next video after all. It's been, well, a day since I played. Just kind of wanted to make sure that the video was working properly. Still doing an expedition in this area, so we got a couple more turns to look forward to of miasma damage. I want to get up to this resource pod, but I'm kind of scared of these scarabs. Scarabs can be dangerous. And of course these rippers have just been sort of hanging about, doing all sorts of stuff. You never know if you can trust these guys. Continue to work on that work barge. Let's get coral, please. Alright, there's a lot of new stuff we still need to explore, and I'm sure we're going to be coming across a lot of it as we go in this video and the next video, so we'll just keep moving forward. This is considered to be desert, so I think I'll just build a generator here. Not much point in building farms and stuff, I guess. I mean, it's already strictly an energy province. We might as well just make it a little bit better. Tile, I should say. Province. Huh, I've been playing too much EU4. Aliens detected at Deep Castle. Again, I could shoot at them and possibly the AI would interpret that as a excuse to run away, but it also might make them hostile. Alright, so we got 80 production for free in Deep Castle. That's pretty cool. Let's back out of the miasma and let's grab... Ooh! We got 70 energy. Awesome sauce. And, aha! Okay. So this is a new thing in Rising Tide. Is a sort of global quest, a Marvel quest. So here we go. We see this this unit here got discovered. A colossal alien device has been discovered on the planet's icy surface. Rising high into the sky, the structure appears to be millennia old, built from materials that have withstood eons of decay. Mankind can only hope to understand the technologies in use. Closer examination reveals the central spire houses a massive drill, reaching far below the planet's crust. At those depths, no metal should survive the planet's intense heat. There may be the device may be communicating with something nearby. We need to find alien structures. So this is a special kind of global... Oh, we got chemistry as well. A kind of global quest that all civilizations have immediate access to. Somewhere on this planet are going to be alien structures. There are probably, let's see, there are 6 players on this map, so there should be at least 6 alien structures on the map in total. And it doesn't matter where you find them, just get them. You want to get as many, you want to get them as quickly as you can. There should be one for everybody, basically, in order to progress through the quest. So everybody on the planet should be able to do this Marvel quest. But obviously, if there are 6 out in the world, you know, you're more likely to find 6 than to find the last remaining one after all the other civilizations have finished their stage of the quest. So you really want it to be a race to find the alien structures, and if we find one, we're definitely going to grab it. An alternative is instead of an alien structure, there's also like an alien skeleton on different kinds of map types. It depends, but I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that these exist, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with that. Do we want to grab a free colonist unit? Or... I mean, it seems to me that a colonist makes the most sense. So, but first... Science... Production... No, let's grab the free colonist. Why not? Grab a colonist. We got a free colonist. We'll found another city. Question is, do we want it to be on land, or do we want it to be in the ocean? There are 2 xenomass over there. Not much to speak of, honestly. There are 2 Phyrexite here. Honestly, I'm not seeing much that'll actually be useful toward my affinities. It's quite disappointing, actually. I'm not really sure what we're going to do about that, but we'll see. Alright, let's send this explorer out. The colonists, you can just sit tight for a little bit. Don't do anything. Don't do anything crazy. Cultural burden. We have located the signal's origin. I didn't even realize that's what I was trying to do, but apparently I was. Do we not risk contamination and go for harmony, or do we recover the probe and have the option to proceed to purity or supremacy later? Huh. I mean, 2 xenomass and 2 Phyrexite is not much. It really is not. At this point, all 3 affinities are kind of up in the air, and there are hybrid affinities, so... I'm going to keep my options open and give me the option to change to purity if I find a really big stack of floatstone. Otherwise, it's the same odds. You know, 2 for Axite or 2 Xenomass. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We'll try it. All right, now they're saying let's found a city over here. I don't think that makes a lick of sense whatsoever. So let's not do that. I don't really see anything enticing down here either. No real strategic value to any of these. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, we need to start researching the next level of tech. What do we want? I'm thinking let's go ahead and work toward ecology. That'll get us toward our ultrasonic fences, and I believe that those are exceptionally important. Perhaps more importantly, though, if we do found this other city out in the ocean or anywhere else, really, it will give us the option of making our trade vessels immune to the aliens, because that'll be a special mission once you've built your first ultrasonic fence. That could be kind of useful, so I want to research that as quickly as possible. Let's get a clinic for the extra science and health, because I'm pretty sure we are going to need that in the near future. Doop, doop, doop. Gifts from home. Okay, moving on. Next turn. So yeah, there are such things as hybrid affinities in Rising Tide, and actually if we take a look at this, we can see it directly. That's me, by the way, Duncan Hughes, leader of the NSA, apparently, also inventor of the ARCs, floating cities. Anyways, so you can see here that as you get points, you can gain additional levels in... Whoa, I just dropped my phone. That was funny. That's my timer right there. Hang on. All right. As you gain levels, XP in the different affinities, you'll be progressing. For example, this is the Pure Harmony tree, and at level 15 you can build the Mindflower project, and so on and so forth. But that also does reward you for simultaneously working on, say, the Supremacy tree. So you'll be getting your levels in Supremacy, maybe be able to work toward the Emancipation Gate, whichever you come to first. But also you'll be getting levels in a hybrid affinity of Harmony and Supremacy. So, for example, at level 2 we would get Science per level of Supremacy or Harmony, whichever is higher, I imagine. 5 health, growth in all cities, growth for every military unit. Like, there's some pretty cool options. It basically does not penalize you anymore for only picking one affinity and having a few extra levels here and there. Like, that's happened previously in games where I went for, say, a Harmony victory, but I ended up having, like, 6 levels in Supremacy, and it's like, well, these are kind of worthless. I mean, they provide some bonuses, but it's not that important. Yeah, well, now that the game actually does reward that, so that's kind of cool. They say I should found a city down here. I don't really see how that's true. Of course, I do need to keep in mind, I think I can only found a city in shallow waters, so... Let's start sending... Whoop. Our explorer? Oh, am I out of moves already? I thought that this was the next turn. Oh, wait. Is there not just a... Can I tell you to do... Oh, you're a stacked unit. Oh, okay, I was going to say. I should be able to just tell you to do nothing, but that wasn't an option because it was already stacked on a civilian unit, as opposed to a military unit. Here comes the next player. No idea who you're going to be. Could be anybody, because again, in Rising Tide, it does not tell us up front who is going to be joining our game, whereas it did previously, I believe. Alright, we still have some hydrocoral sort of sitting in the way. I'm going to explore up in this direction and see if I can't find a better location for a city. Actually, I should back you up a tile. There we go. What's this? A Kraken nest. Oh, that's terrifying. Huh. Not sure if there's any way of getting rid of that. There are, of course, some really monstrous aliens in this game. Oh, actually, it's an expedition site, turns out. Well, who would have thought? Also, oh, right! I totally forgot this is a thing. So we need to park over here. Actually, I'm just going to wait one more turn to do that. But in order to get that Cultural Burdens quest, we need to go into this area and just click a special button. So let's send our explorer up here. There's the large hydrocoral. Now, of course, the way hydrocoral works is it's going to start spreading these little guys all over the place over time. So it's kind of like an alien infestation. Eventually, you're going to want to just kind of clear it out to make room for whatever you're doing. Let's start sending the colonists down this direction, I guess. It's a little bit risky, I feel like, sending your colonists to places you don't even know about yet. But, you know, we'll try it. We'll try it. Let's go ahead and park there. I should probably buy this tile right here, because I don't have a lot else to do with my workers, and since you cannot get cultural border growth, that's pretty much the only way for Deep Castle to gain any territory. Okay. Okay, let's choose our production. I am going to move the city. I'm going to move it one tile over to the left. Are you sure? Yes. That's going to take me, what, 4 turns of production. Now, that is reduced, of course, because I am playing as the NSA. Other civilizations would take a lot longer. And when we go here, we are automatically going to destroy whatever tile improvement was here, which is why I did not want to finish the underwater farm. But once I move, I'll keep all these borders, but I will gain these 3 tiles in my borders as well. So I'll have a bit more room to expand later. All right, let's continue to explore. You're saying settle next to the fishies, huh? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's some xenomass. Okay, we got 2 more xenomass. Still not a lot to speak of, but it's a thing. Let's move here. We have to drain the xenomass, and then I'm going to back him out of the miasma. It's kind of... I hate sending colonists as if they were explorers, but I really just don't see a better place to be doing anything, so... I don't want to found a city where there's, like, no resources at all. I mean, of course I can move the city, but it takes forever. Alright, cultural burden. So, do we do purity or supremacy? I think we do some supremacy, because at this point I know of some Firaxite. And also we gain additional worker speed. That's fun. But yeah, it's just not great. So far I'm just not seeing much in the way of affinities at this point. There's more hydrocoral. Not good. Oh, there's even more hydrocoral. Man, this stuff's getting out of control. I'm going to need to get some naval units at some point in the near future, I think, and try to deal with that. So, there's more hydrocoral and some minerals and some rippers. There's just not a lot as far as where I want to be establishing cities. There's just not a lot. I could found a city down in this direction. And with some chitin, some copper, and some fungus, maybe this ends up being lucrative, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not seeing much. Frigid worlds are rough, man. Frigid worlds are rough. Let's continue to explore. Alright, so we got tons of hydrocoral blocking the way. I don't think we're going to get very far with our city that way. Just keep doing nothing there. Let's see. I see an alien skeleton, some algae. I guess we'll go here and try to expedite the Kraken nest. Let's go ahead and start sending our colonists back home, because I don't see much of anything in this direction. And I think this is probably going to be our best bet. Yes, it's a land city, which I don't consider to be optimal, but I don't really see a lot of other alternatives at this point. There's just not much around. Hey, cool, we got some progress toward an achievement, apparently. The Voyager, 1 out of 50. Oh, I have to move a city 50 times, apparently. Oh, that's fun. All right, well, finish your paddock. There we go. And then, well, this tile is now available for some levels of improvements, so that's kind of cool. Do we want a recycler for additional production, and additional production from internal city and station trade routes? That's kind of nice. Laboratory, of course, is good for the science, so let's go ahead and grab the science. I think that's more important at this stage in the game. Start moving the colonists back home. Man, I'm really bummed. I was hoping to find a much better location for a city than that. I'm going to send you south a little bit. Nope, more hydrocoral. Okay. I mean, the only thing down in this direction that I can see is plankton, and I don't think that that's worth founding a city. I could possibly put it right here and just sort of move it around to grab things like xenomass. I mean, it's just going to take a lot of moving. That's a lot of wasted production, you know. I don't really know. I'm not really sure what's the best strategy in this case. It's interesting to think about, really. It is interesting to think about. Oh, it turns out we have oil here that I didn't even know about. Petroleum, I should say. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, alright. Well, let's start sending our explorer, our spare explorer, down this direction. Let's explore the east so I can make a more informed decision. I'm going to sit tight. Because I could get some colonia fish, and I could get some fruit, so a little bit of resources to grow faster. And it's within access to start moving toward things like xenomass. Problem is my capital city could do that too, so... the more I think about it, the more I'm talking myself out of it. I'm going to stick with my original plan and start heading back toward the east. If I waste a little bit of time, you know what? So be it. Let's send our worker back on the land, because I actually would rather get some petroleum, I think. And I also need to start getting some military units in the near future. Actually, I just realized, can sea cities actually build melee units? They can build soldiers. Okay. Presumably they will start off embarked, but that's good to know. Okay. I was worried that may not actually be allowed. We have a quest decision. Do we want to... Yes, we want to either have relics for free maintenance or get more culture from the old Earth relic. I always prefer the extra culture, so that's good enough for me. Let's start getting a petroleum well. Now, this does cost me a bit of health. And that's one of the interesting things about some of these... That's one of the interesting things, I think, about some of the strategic resources in Beyond Earth is certain kinds of resources, like petroleum, actually do have negative downsides. You don't necessarily want to take the petroleum if you have no practical use for it. Now, I'm probably okay, but still. Many months mapping the depths of the Kraken nest an alien life form has found, we got a free alien Ripper. Awesome! Let's send our alien Ripper to go and be our explorer. That alien skeleton could be kind of useful. We'll probably want to do an expedition there. Let's go ahead and send our explorer here back home, because he is going to need to get that expedition module. And I definitely want to start getting some military units. Start clearing out some of these aliens.
Personality traits you currently have.
Okay. So that's a good thing to know. I will address this in a little bit once we have 150 diplomatic capital. Oh, good. A resource pod. Aliens should still be able to pick those up, so I will take advantage of that. And let's send our colonist up into a safer zone. There we go. Next turn. Those manticores and scarabs are just sort of poking around up there and making me feel a little bit antsy about it. Alright, we could take planetary survey, and this would give our cities the ability to move on ocean tiles. It also allows for amphibious trade, which could be potentially useful. But before we can even do that, we would need to have pioneering with the trade depot. So let's grab that. Cool, we can station a charter, or charter a station, or whatever. So do we want Jinsoku Labs, which provides science and production, or do we want energy and production? I think we want the science and production. There we go. Okay, so we have a first lab that just popped up over here. That's good to know. So we'll probably want to start focusing toward getting some trade routes and take advantage of those extra resources. That would be very intelligent, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, let's just park the colonist up here for now, I guess. And send the Ripper to grab a goodie hut. We got, what? 20 culture. X never marks the spot. Oh, good. This is a new thing in the game. All right, so we discovered some artifacts. A near light speed accelerator. Warn. Laser-based propulsion technology, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a quick look at this. So this is an old Earth artifact. Now, artifacts are brand new in the game. There are old Earth, alien, and progenitor. Now, these artifacts by themselves don't do a lot, but you can cash them out for some resources. For example, this is a 2-tier artifact. If I were to put it over here into the research slot, I would straight up gain 30 science if I just completed the research. That's it. Very neat. No fuss, no muss. I just use up my free artifact and gain 30 science. Awesome, right? Or, alternatively, as I find more artifacts in these goodie huts, then I will be able to combine multiple artifacts together and get very different bonuses. In fact, if I can get 3 Old Earth relics together, then I will probably unlock an entirely new building type that otherwise would be impossible for me to generate in this game, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's an interesting new feature in the game. It's going to require sort of analyzing the short-term versus the long-term benefits, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to work. All right, now we could pick up something like Helping Hands for build speed on tile improvements. Culture for border expansion, meh. We could work instead toward Pathfinders, and I think I'd rather have that. If we do pick up one more virtue in prosperity, we will get the focus here, a free synergy bonus, and I get 10% growth in every city, which I think is awesome. So yes, let's go ahead and grab that. Pathfinders. Explorers now have 3 modules. In fact, it looks like all of our explorers just got modules for free right now. Oh, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and send the explorer up in this direction then. Now we still want to find out what's over here. Oh, appears we're going to have to go through the miasma. Well, that's unfortunate, but it's not really a game breaker, I think. Where's the alien nest? It's definitely around here somewhere. It's causing trouble for me. I'm going to send you up this direction because I anticipate sending the city west another tile, so I don't want to bother building something here if it's just going to get crushed. Sit tight, little colonist. Sit tight. We don't know what we're doing with you yet. Nothing exciting over here yet. That is unfortunate. Well, it's a good thing this was a free colonist, because I don't feel too bad about wasting it. It's just kind of annoying. Ripper. Keep going this direction. Okay. Okay, well, Now, here's one thing I want to talk about before we end this episode. Now, I know it's going to last a little bit longer as a result, but I do think that this is important and really exciting, something we kind of need to talk about, and that is diplomatic capital. We just discovered, man, little pockets of fraxite and floatstone, but, like, there's just nothing here. No real... Man, that's just annoying. All right. Anyway, the thing I want to talk about is diplomatic capital and personality traits. Now we can see this here. So diplomatic capital is a brand new currency introduced in Rising Tide, and it's important for a lot of reasons. For example, in order to up your relationship status with another civilization, you will be spending some diplomatic capital to go from, say, neutral to cooperating to ally. You'll be spending political capital. Rather than, just use Facebook to update your relationship status, because in the future, Facebook was banned. Anyways, yahoo. The other thing you can do with it, though, comes down to your personality traits and agreements. Now, you can see here we already have a personality trait. Our character personality trait. Indefatigable. Or fatigable. Indefatigable? Indefatigable. Whatever. It's a tongue twister right there, okay? Call me weird. I'm having a hard time saying it. This is basically our nation's existing bonus, our passive bonus that we already saw. Aquatic cities having 50% more combat strength and costing 50% less to move. We already saw that when we chose our civilization, and this is how it's going to be for every civilization. For example, the Cheongsu, which is the Korean civ, is going to have their own thing about covert operations. You're going to have Al-Falah, which has the city developments improvements. Those are all going to be character-based, and you can upgrade it for 150 capital to this next tier. 60% more combat strength, and 60% less to move. See how that works. So you can work your way up to tier 3 and get kind of a massive bonus. Here's the other option, though. Agreements. So the way that agreements work is when you meet another civilization, you can see what kind of traits they have picked, and you can decide if you want to spend some diplomatic capital every turn to gain additional passive bonuses to your civilization. Now, because I have Indefatigable as my character trait, these are the agreements that other civilizations can see. Officer Training Compound. Aquatic cities have more combat strength, and you can see when we are a neutral relationship, it's a 15 more strength. If we have a cooperating relationship, it's 25 more strength, and so on when you become allied. So the better our relationship is with the Civ, the more powerful their agreements will become, and vice versa if I choose to take advantage of any of their perks. Now, in order to do this, though, they would be spending 15 diplomatic capital per turn. That's what they would be spending, is 15 diplomatic capital per turn. And I, as a result, would be gaining 15 diplomatic capital per turn. Kinda nice. So having really good traits that have great enticing agreements that other civilizations will be very interested in means you're going to get a better income of diplomatic capital, which in turn means you can spend it on better agreements with other civilizations and get passive traits. It's an interesting way of changing up the diplomacy, kind of makes everyone a bit more intertwined, and really encourages people to work cooperatively rather than just being hostile all the time. Kind of nice. The other agreement that we offer to other civilizations is Hydro Engineering Corps, increased production for naval units. Nothing extraordinary, but kind of cool. Now, one thing we can do, though, instead of just spending 150 diplomatic capital to upgrade my own character trait, is I can pick up a new trait. We have political, domestic, and military. So let's take a look at the military one. It's going to cost 150 diplomatic capital if I want to select a new personality trait, which would give us a new passive perk to our civilization and, as a result, give better new agreements available to other civilizations, which again can entice them to spend diplomatic capital to you in order to gain a perk. Does that kind of make sense? I think we'll see it take place throughout the game, but let's see. Better defense, city plots are cheaper, production for military units, culture, science, energy maintenance, imperial profiteering, suspicious integrating, some kind of interesting things here. And you really want to consider all the different perks for yourself, but also what kind of agreements you are offering. So if we look at the domestic trait, for instance, now one that I really like is developer. Now, when I pick this up, just straight up, I will gain 3 health. And health is very valuable. It's not like happiness where you just want to be positive. There's actually a benefit to having really high health. You get extra production, science, and so on. So this is kind of nice in every way. But, as well, the agreements, civil infrastructure, more health from strategic resources. Now that is a very good agreement that other civilizations will be very interested in, and it's expensive. They would be paying me 25 diplomatic capital per turn to take advantage of this agreement. But, again, that's going into my coffers, and it's really enticing because that is a great agreement, so they might actually pay that, in which case I have more points to spend on new traits, upgrading my traits, and getting really good agreements. Other options, of course, are things like city food, production, culture, science, energy, These are pretty flavorless vanilla, but still very useful. Defensive, cooperative, vigilant, spacefaring doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all. I think we're going to pick up the developer trait. It's going to cost us 150 diplomatic capital. But again, we're going to get straight up 3 global health for really no other effort. And it's going to entice other civilizations to meet us, become cooperative, and give us more diplomatic capital. Now, of course, you notice that every time you pick up a trait, it gets more expensive to upgrade them, so you want to be paying attention to that. But I think one of the best strategies in this game, as far as diplomacy traits are going to be concerned, is pick up all 4 traits. Focus on getting traits. Try to tread water. Don't use any agreements. Don't spend your political capital. Just get your traits up there so that you can get other civilizations to pay you diplomatic capital, and it kind of has an exponential effect. The more traits you have, the better they are. The more enticing they are, the faster you're generating diplomatic capital, so you can start dominating in the diplomatic arena. Kind of cool, kind of complicated, hoping we're going to see that in action fairly soon, but I do believe that is going to have to be enough for this video. It ran a little bit long, sorry about that. If you enjoyed this video, then I hope you'll consider hitting that like button, leaving a comment, and subscribing for all future content. My name has been Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.